Do you know where the world's most luxurious homes are located? Hint, they're in the land of backwards flushing toilets. In today's video, we're going to be talking exclusively about luxury real estate and where I believe the most luxurious homes in the world are located. If you're new to this channel, welcome, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to click subscribe. My name is Pamela. I am a lawyer and entrepreneur by trade, and this is my personal lifestyle channel. This channel has two big themes running through it. One is all things luxury, and second, because your girl wasn't handed a damn thing in this life and had to learn it all herself, value. We talk a lot about value and value-driven decisions and whether some of these luxuries are really worth it. Without further ado, luxury real estate. The luxury real estate we're talking about today is yes in Australia, yes in Sydney, and yes in the Point Piper neighborhood in Sydney. A little bit of FYI on Point Piper. Point Piper is a suburb of Sydney, I'm technically speaking. Although as somebody that's been to Sydney and it's one of my favorite places in the world, I can tell you that Sydney suburbs are not really like North American suburbs. Sydney suburbs are like all mini cities of their own with their own key things to do in that area. So it's not the North American sense of suburb where it's just like houses and the Costco is a 15-minute drive away and anything fun is 30 minutes drive away. It's not that kind of suburb. It's a hustling, bustling type of suburb. This neighborhood was established hundreds of years ago, literally in 1820 by a naval officer, John Piper. Good for him naming that magnificent piece of land after himself. And this officer received a land grant which was comprised of 190 acres. So Point Piper is not necessarily the largest area in terms of geographical land space. However, it is an area with a lot of houses in it because it's on a hill. So there's houses sort of on top of each other as opposed to sprawling horizontally. Now, before we talk about what makes this neighborhood luxurious, let's talk a little bit about the price tag we're in, because I just uploaded my luxury real estate in Canada video. Is somebody in Canada right now and loving luxury real estate? A luxury Canadian real estate video seemed like a no-brainer. And the houses in that video, 5 million, 10 million, 25 on a spicy day. No. In Point Piper, we are setting global records here with price tags in the hundreds of millions. One iconic home that comes to mind is that a $200 million home was recently sold in the Point Piper neighborhood in Sydney. Other homes listed in this area, 150 million, 100 million. Those are normal numbers. So keep in mind, for the average person, you look in the US, you can buy a house for 250,000 to 500,000 easily in most states. So from that perspective, $1 million home is luxurious. We're talking hundreds of millions in Point Piper. And the median house price, I'll tell you, this varies a lot depending on the article you look at. I've seen articles saying average price point in Point Piper is $4 or $5 million. I've seen articles saying average price point in Point Piper is like $49.5 million. I'll tell you again, as somebody that's been there, stayed in those homes, yabba dabba do, dabbled with those circles, I would personally say the $49.5 million price range is a lot closer to a fair average price for the houses in that neighborhood. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because I know this channel gets a lot of smart viewers and you might be crunching their most expensive house in the world on Google. Well, yeah, you're going to see Google is going to give you some ridiculous results like Buckingham Palace is more expensive than a residential home. Yeah, obviously. The Ambani house in India. Yeah, that's not a house. It's a whole building. So again, just a little bit back to earth. I'm strictly talking houses here, not like most expensive buildings on earth. This conversation is not open to Buckingham Palace and the Palace of Versailles and things of that nature. When it comes to this neighborhood and why the houses are so expensive, now you're going to know, this is where the value part of the conversation comes in. A house is a house is a house in terms of the building material. You can have a 10 bedrooms. So I'm not comparing this to like, Jenny and Steve's Fixer Upper on HGTV. But let's compare it to equivalent homes with the same finishes, same touches, same square footage, this and that. A home that looks just like the homes in Point Piper could sell somewhere of also exclusive pedigree in the world for like 5 million, 2 million, maybe 25 million, depending on the city. But what's driving the hundreds of millions here is that, again, this is ultra rare real estate. It is like this curly swirly cliff in the middle of Sydney, and while also being in the middle of Sydney, it is on a harbor. It's on the water in Sydney. There's the yacht club when you get to the bottom of the cliff, or the bottom of the hill, I should say, not the cliff. You don't drive down a cliff. The water access is really, really prestigious. It's really rare in Sydney. Not because you don't see the water everywhere, but to touch it is a whole other game, right? So touching the water, this neighborhood does that. It's on the harbor. So it is the geographical, literally, coordinates within the city of Sydney that help make this such a luxurious home. Another thing is, of course, with these homes, but this is a truth universal to all luxury spaces, luxury real estate neighborhoods, not just this one, but the truth is that you are around a certain kind of person. And let's face it, those people are willing to pay a premium to keep other kind of people out. Whether that's a harsh reality or not, that's how humans live nowadays. But it is certain individuals that are living here driving up the prices, protecting those prices themselves to ensure that it's more of their kind that goes in as opposed to people they don't want there. As regards their kind, quote unquote, one surprising kind of thing to me, again, because in North America, there's this key connection with like expensive real estate being like celebrities, like literally some of them people that don't have 2 grades of education to their name, but they've been in a movie. When it comes to Point Piper, we're talking like a lot more educated of average demographic there. Famous politicians, famous financiers, famous lawyers. Of course, there is the occasional actor here and there because they have a lot of money, the very successful actors in this world. But it's not that kind of demographic driving the purchases. Think of like the difference between a New York City elite and a Los Angeles, right? Los Angeles is going to be probably tied into the Hollywood situation in some way, whereas the New York elite might be more on the banking side, investment banking, things like that. So again, Point Piper just takes that New York thing and really ramps it up a lot. And again, unlike the Ambani House or the Buckingham Palace, that's one of a kind with no one else like it around, in Point Piper, all the other houses are equally expensive or in the same range. All the other people are of the same background or similar, and so on and so forth. How is that for luxury real estate? Did you know there were $200 million homes on this planet? Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and we will see you next week on another luxury posting.